Are you ready for your calisthenics routine? Note, Rosie will be doing the more advanced positions. I will be doing other variations. Pick and choose as you need to. First thing we'll do is arm circles. So you're going to turn your left palm open, and we're going to shoot for 50. You can go fast or you can go slow, but the key here is you want to keep your body still. And remember, when we go to 50, if you need to pause beforehand, don't worry about it. So right about now, we're around 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Rosie is going faster than I am. But it's okay to feel some cracks. It's okay to feel a bunch of different movement, but as you get tired, avoid the shaky movement. Good. We're close to 50, and then from here, turn your palm flat, go in the other direction. You go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's 20. I like to count by tens. It's easier than saying 22. 9, 10, 30. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 40. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's 50. And then we'll switch to the other side. So the other palm open. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 more, you got it. Don't think about it too hard. If you paused, you'll be aware of how sore you are. Breathe through your nose, and then palm close in the other direction. Now swim in the other direction. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Smile, dear. This should burn. Mainly all through here. We're hitting about 30, everybody. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And relax. Then we're going to do 25 with both arms. Turning your palms open. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Other direction. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's totally normal for one direction to be harder than the other. 7, 8, 9. Oh my goodness. 1, 2, 3, 4. Try not to let your head go looking down to the ground, and relax. We are done with the arm circles. Now we'll go to side bends. You can start with your feet together or your feet hip distance apart. Put one hand on your hip, shift your hips. Inhale, lift the arm up. Exhale down. We're shooting for about 50. Left and right. Each one counts as one, so it's 1, 2, 3. Now, the main key here is as you do this, you want to make sure you don't twist out of the position. So you don't want to turn and twist as you do this. You can always do it on a wall, keeping your butt and your upper body on the ground. But if you feel like your shoulders aren't giving you enough mobility and you can't really straighten your arm out yet, and you feel like you're turning, then you can always bring your hands to the side and just push one hand down, shift the hip, push the other hand down, shift the hip. And Rosie, you keeping count? Nope. We're at about 25. That's what my trainer sense says, and it's usually plus or minus 1. So if you did a few more, don't worry about it. Extra credit. Shifting side to side. The wider your feet are, the little more room you're going to get. The closer your feet are, the more side stretch you're going to get, but you're not going to get as much room. But Remember, you can pause whenever you need to. But before you pause, ask yourself, do you really need to? Good, and then relax, and then we'll get right into torso turns. So you're going to press your hands flat like this, push your shoulders down. You're going to inhale, rotate, keeping your hips square, turning your head, and exhale back. Shooting for 50. Rosie, if you could keep a count for me, as I explain some variations. So Rosie's going to keep count. Now the biggest key here is you don't want to lean forward as you do this, and you want to try to keep your shoulder down. So sometimes when we rotate, the shoulder wants to drop forward like this. We want to keep it back, moving from the shoulder blades.
20.
Thank you. The other option is, if you're still feeling stuff on the shoulders, you can always press your hands together and just focus on rotating just the upper body without the arms, just while you're getting the abs and the obliques to turn on. Sometimes this one's a little tricky initially, but we rotate a bunch as humans.
40.
Thank you for the count. Really paying attention to your breath if you've been doing this for a while. And then relax. And then we'll get right into elbow pulls. Are your arms tired yet? They should be. So you're going to bring your hands behind you. You're just going to squeeze your elbows together, pushing your chest out a little bit. Now the key with this one, pretty simple motion. It's a little bit of shoulder extension, is you just don't want to let your hips shift. And we're shooting again for 50. And if you could be a deer and keep count once more, Rosie. Good, pulling back, and the biggest key again, everybody, is just trying not to shift your body as you do this, or your head. Try to look up. You're not looking at a phone right now. No need to look down.
20.
Each time trying to pull those elbows back as much as you can. Your heart rate should be up. Oh goodness, Rosie, where are we?
40.
Odd.
Is that 50?
That's 50, I believe. I don't know, you're counting. So from here, let's do forward fold. So this is very simple. You're just going to come down and touch your toes. Try to sit your butt back. Try to keep your legs straight. We're shooting for 50. As you do this, you can inhale down, exhale up if you want to match your breath to something, and also just make sure that you're sitting your butt back. If you're not sure if that's happening, just get close to a wall or a chair, get a couple inches away, and then just sit back enough that you feel your butt hitting the wall. This is going to prevent you from using your back excessively and more using your hamstrings and your glutes. So maybe initially it might be this, or with a little bit of support in front of you like a chair. Anything like that is just fine, but then otherwise, if you're comfortable, you just reach forward. Touch and base with all that good stuff. Yeah. Try to keep your weight even in your feet. It's going to move to your heels a little bit, but just make sure that you're not completely lifting your toes off the ground. Where's the number at? What? Ah. Well, that's fine. Let's do 10 more, everybody. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then from here, we'll slip right into squats. Turn your toes out nice and wide. Sit your butt back. Let your chest come forward. Extend your arms. Shoulders are down. That's 1. We're doing 50. 2, 3. Sitting as deeply as you're comfortable. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now, by the way, you can totally do this as deeply as you're comfortable. You can do it with your hands on a ledge, on a bench, on a chair, something in front of you. That's just fine. If you have a partner, you can grab their hands and they can give you a little bit of support. Sitting back so you can sit as deeply as you want. So you can even switch. But if you don't have that, a sink, chair, something that's bolted into a wall is perfect. Otherwise, sitting as deeply as you can. Squatting is a human right. It should get easier. And if you're doing this in the morning, you might start out a little stiff, but then by the end of it, you should be feeling fancy and free. Yes, we're at 37. Let's just take a moment. Remember, you can always take a break. And after this, one more. We're going to slip right into full rotations, or what known as some people as Lou raises. You're going to take your pinky to your thumb. And again, 50, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Trying to keep your arms straight. If your arms come forward a little bit, that's fine. Rosie, you keeping count?
Whose job is it? It's your job.
Yep, fair enough. 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50. And then here we'll just do a few side bends and do Egyptians. So these are feet are wide. You're just going to lift your arms up, turn one palm open, and then just switch a couple times, turning one palm open, the other palm down, palm open, palm down. And then when the next palm is open, shift a little bit to the side like the side bend and come back. And we're just going to do 25 of these. 2, 3, 4. The goal here is to try to move the rib cage as much as possible. So initially it might be a little small shift, but you really want to feel like those ribs are getting pulled side to side. If you're not sure if you're doing it right, you can always get your hands on your hips and just shift your body side to side, using those hands as a little bit of an indication. And again, this is another one for the wall. Good. It's about 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Slipping right into push-ups, everybody. So here, you're trying to get to 50, or as many as you can. So I'm not going to get to 50 today, but you can always do this in a variety of ways. Just make sure your shoulders are down, your shoulders are packed, and you're pressing your hands into the ground. Hands can go wider than a yoga mat. You can press back onto your feet and go. Now, if this is too hard, as you go up and down, you can always drop to your knees, just making sure your butt is down. Or you can always go up higher. If you have a set of stairs in your house, walk your hands up a few flights of stairs. Or if you're really uncomfortable with this motion, you can always do it from the wall. Taking your hands, walking your feet out, and doing a few push-ups from the wall. Otherwise, take a moment if you need it, and then keep going. Eyes can be slightly forward. Get your chest all the way to the ground. No halvesies.
I'll do the modification.
Following your breath, inhale down, exhale up on the exertion. Oh, and then when you're ready, relax. You can shake out your arms for a second. And now we're going to get to the ground and do a couple ab motions. So from here, we're going to get into a special type of sit-up. So your feet are flat on the ground. Press your feet into the ground. Tailbone up, chest up. So keep your body straight. Lift your arms forward, shoulders are down. And inhale and go as far down as you can with your feet still in the ground. Exhale up. If you're squeezing your glutes and you're working your hamstrings, we're shooting for 25 to 50 of these. You're definitely going to use your abs more than if you let yourself round and let your feet come up off the ground. If you have a partner or you have a band or you can put your feet underneath the couch, you can grab your partner's calves and just pull their feet lightly towards you. And you can feel that more in the abs, right? Mm-hmm. But it's fine to do it on your own. It's just harder. If you can't get to 25, don't worry about it. If you're being really honest, you won't go that far, at least not initially. Because if I can go further, if I round and I let myself relax, that's not the whole goal here. Staying upright. Well, that's 21, 22. Oh, that starts to burn. And then relax. And now we'll get right into reverse crunches. So a couple variations of this. So from here, you can lie on your back, everybody. This is where you're going to tuck your hips under. Your back will flatten in the ground, but I want you to focus on your hips. Tuck your hips under, press your hands in the ground, lift your knees up as high as they go. You can start with bent legs, exhaling up, inhaling down, focusing on the tucked hips. Now, if you're like Rosie and you have plenty of hip and shoulder flexibility, you can go a little further. You can also make it harder by straightening your legs for the entirety of the movement or keeping them basically straight. But if that bothers your back at all, start with bent knees. We're working on the lower part and the upper part of the abs here. So you just go to what you can tolerate. The key here is though, is every now and then it's nice to check how much am I using my hands. So you can try to do this without your hands on the ground, pushing your shoulders down, lifting up. And again, shooting for about 25. In the original calisthenic literature, they would do this for about 100. If you want to pause and go for that, by all means feel free. I am not there yet. About 5 more. Now the key here is if you find this hard, you're using a lot of momentum, slow it down. Focus on doing 5 good ones. And at the end, you can come right into a version of wheelbarrow where you can use the hands a little bit. Get your knees as close to your face as you can. Maybe straighten your legs. If you can get your feet to the ground, great. If you're like me and you can't, don't worry about it. You can take your hands to your lower back for a bit of support and just hold. And we're just going to hold for a 20-second count. 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then you can roll back down slowly. And then here, everybody, we're going to get into a few reverse breaths. So this is to relax the abs. So from here, this is where you're going to inhale, raise up into a bridge, bring your arms back behind you, exhale everything out. Hold your breath, lower your butt to the ground, puff your chest out. You should feel a big stretch in the midsection, and then bring your arms back down. So again, inhale. So inhale up, exhale out. Hold the breath on the exhale and lower down, feeling that stretch. The only variation to make this harder is you can hold your breath a little longer, but you can get into a rhythm as well. So just do about 25 of these as well. Each time feeling that bigger stretch, just doing about 3 or 4 more, everybody. And then when you're ready, you can flip on over and just come into a thoracic stretch, which is also for your abs. So you can get into Sphinx pose like this, pushing your glutes into the ground, squeezing your glutes, pushing your hips into the ground, eyes forward. You can also go higher like Rosie. Just make sure you're squeezing your shoulder blades together, but this is fine, or if it's even too much, you can come a little more forward, just like this. And you're just holding this for about a 15 second. This is just to stretch out the abs. At this point, we've finished our sequence, but this is also the time I like to take every morning to note, all right, what am I trying to work on? What am I trying to get better at? So if you want to do a little hopping, if there's another movement that you've been practicing or an area that gets tight often, take this moment, take the next 30 seconds and move into that. Use it as and when that gets easy, move on to something else. Thanks for joining me, everybody.